Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open. We are trading options, and boy, do we have a lot to go over. I know you guys have seen it in the comments. I've seen it on X. You guys have been asking about what happened to the mini account. Of course, I have not made a whole lot of videos. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a whole lot of trades that have taken place that I could just get quickly on a video. And so I want to go over those. We've added some capital to the account. We've got in and out of assets. And my gosh, it's been a crazy 4 weeks in this account, but we are fighting back to the $12,000 mark. During the last 2 weeks, I think since I recorded the last video on this one, we've hit an all-time high. We've hit, down into the 8,000s. It has been a wild swing. Of course, we are running leverage positions that are proxy plays on Bitcoin. And boy, it's been a journey. So we have a lot that we need to go over. How I'm managing this account. We've swung into some shares. We've swung out of some shares. We've gotten back into cash. So we've completed 2 wheel cycles on both MSTU and Mara. And we have some plays on the table. We have some cash available. We bought some shares this morning. And I want to go into it. But first, I want to jump into a couple of things. So we're 4 weeks into assignment. And I want to go over that, right? So 4 weeks ago, if we rewind back, we were assigned some shares, right? We were assigned shares of Mara, shares of MSTX, and shares of MSTU. Now, we were assigned only 100 shares of Mara, and then we were assigned, I want to say only 100 shares of MSTU. So those were smaller plays, and then we were assigned a good amount of MSTX. And so I said, what am I going to do? Well, it's the easiest to will stocks when you can throw a majority of your cash at a position. And because this is such a small account, I wanted and saw the most premium in MSTX. Of course, it's leverage. Of course, there's a bunch of volatility, and we've seen that, and we'll continue to see that in the portfolio. But I said, my goal is going to be get back to cash in Mara, get back to cash with MSTU, and throw that cash at MSTX so that we can lower the cost basis as low as we can get it so that we can also get back to cash on MSTX. All of these positions, my goal is to will in, will out, be aggressive. I'm not going for massive home runs. I'm going for single base hits. I'm going for cash flow every single week. I'm monitoring my cash flow, and the goal is to get this account all the way back to cash as fast as I possibly can. So 4 weeks into assignment, we're back to cash on Mara and MSTU, and we have a lot of work to do on MSTX. So I want to go over the journey. Mara's made me $73 in the will process. MSTX so far has made me $627, and MSTU has made me $139. What's crazy is the least amount of capital on MSTU has actually made me a nice amount of money because it's such a small stock that you're able to just kind of jump in and not jump out with a small amount of capital. And then Mara, I could have made a bunch more on Mara, but again, I wanted to focus on getting back to cash. So let's jump into it. Let's look at the actual proof in the pudding, and let's take a look at where things are. So as of right now, we're down for the day about 4.7%. For the week, we're up about 20%. For the month, we're pretty much flat. I'm sorry, we're not flat. We almost were flat. We're down about 13% right now, but you can see this was when we were selling cash secured puts at about almost $14,000. Then we got assigned and we dropped as low. What did we get to? We got as low as $8,341. But then we also had a nice pump back up for a minute there up to the new all-time high of $13,904 back on March 6th, which was about 10 days ago as the recording of this video. So we've had a lot of volatility. Let's go out 3 months, down about 3.4%. 1 year, we're still up 71%. All time since we started this account right here on YouTube, we're up about 63.17% or $4,609. So not too bad, but we need to get back to cash and we need to do it quickly. And so what am I doing to do that? I am just buying and buying and buying. I'm lowering my costs as fast as I possibly can in an order to get back to cash. And the only way to do that is to consolidate into one singular ticker, get that ticker all the way down to market price if I can, and then sell aggressive covered calls. So let's talk about what we're talking about. Contribution so far this year, $410. We have that automatic contribution that is happening each and every single week for $35. And then you guys can see it this morning. I threw another $250 at it, right? So 250, and I did that back with the 2024 contribution so that it doesn't affect what I can contribute in 2025. So 35 every single week, threw an extra 250 this morning, and that's just giving us some more buying power. What I did this morning is I sold, actually, let me just go into MSTU because we've had a lot happen on MSTU, and I kind of want to just show you the bobbing and weaving that we've been doing here. If we scroll all the way back to February where we got assigned, I want to just talk you through this journey, right? So MSTU, we got assigned 100 shares. The price of the asset at that time was $7.14. We got assigned at the $7.50, and this is where the journey began, right? So then I sold the aggressive at the money, $15 for a 7.5 call. Of course, that one did not get called away. So what did I start doing? Well, I took all the money I was making trading options, and I started buying assets that I owned, right? Bought 3 shares here, 10 shares at 486, 7 shares at 482, 5 shares at 480. That 7.5 call expired worthless, so we kept all 15 there. I lowered my cost basis all the way down to the 650s, right? So now that we're at the 650s, I sell the 650 call. I'm staying aggressive. I'm following this thing all the way down, and I'm continuing to take that premium and money I have in the account, and I'm lowering my cost basis. 25 more shares at 517, 15 shares at 516. And then I have a nice cost basis sitting in the mid sixes, like around 640, 650. MSTU goes all the way up to $7, and I say, boom, I'm getting out of my odd lots. I'll wait for the next dip. So I sell $455 worth of MSTU off at 7. I book a nice, we'll go over in the spreadsheet, it's like $20 or $30 of gain right there. And then I'm back to cash, right? I have another $450 worth of cash. And so my 6.5 call expires worthless, and we're ready to rock and roll. So what do? Well, MSTU all of a sudden is right back down to $4.50. So glad I got out on that pump. We bought 65 shares back at $2.92, another 15 shares at $4.16. So it is just absolutely tanking at this point. And that's 80 shares. I just bought back that 80 shares for way less money. Sold another call at the 515, which is the one we have open right now. And cost basis is around 556, right? So I'm selling, my whole goal is get back to cash, get back to cash, get back to cash. Then we have a nice pop on MSTU. You guys saw I just bought those 85 shares for 450 and 416, which brings my cost basis down significantly. And we're using the average cost here. So I sold all those 85 shares at 586. Got another $500 there. We booked a nice little trade profit there. We'll go over that in the spreadsheet, the dollar amount. And then I'm back to just the 100 shares, right? Then call assignment, right? 608 MSTU on Friday. It was the price. I sold my shares a little bit under my cost basis. I think I lost like $6 on the actual call assignment. But that being said, we made so much money on those quick little swing trades that I was good with it. Now we are back to cash, right? I got my $550 back. I sold my odd lots for $500. So we have over $1,000 of cash. And there's 2 things I could have done with that. And I decided to do MSTU, but I could have put all that money into MSTX, lowered my cost basis even more, or I could sell some more cash secured puts on MSTU and try to generate a little bit of premium there, then take that premium and put it on MSTX, which is what I decided to do. So I sold the 4.7 puts for $24. If we get down to 4.7, then I guess I'm going to get assigned the shares there, or I'll take a look at where we're at. But right now MSTU is trading about $5.65. If I get paid $24 to buy 200 shares at the 4.7, then so be it. So that's the history on MSTU, in case you were curious. And that's where we're sitting right now. So we have some puts open on MSTU that we are paid $24 to potentially buy those shares at. Then on Friday, MSTX, we've been making a lot of moves on this one as well, but we've just been selling calls, right? So we sold some calls at the 33, or at the 30, I'm sorry. Those ones expired worthless for the most part. Then we bought it back for 2 cents on Friday. We rolled some new ones out for $30 a contract. We got paid $112 to sell those. And the reason why that's important, and you'll see that this is in the negative right now, 30%, but all that means is if I were to sell that exact same $33 MSTX call, I would have been paid $37 more, right? But for me, I don't care. If we go to MSTX, right now I have 415 shares, market value about 11,000. It's 100% of my portfolio. My average cost is 33.04. So I'm selling right at my cost basis. I'm not trying to get a bunch of extra money. My whole purpose on these leverage funds is to get back to cash and get back to cash as fast as I can, right? So we're down about 19% of the position, of course, not including any premiums. Our cost basis is way lower if we include any premiums, just to point that out. But we're going purely off of the average cost here, and I'm just working that down. So if my shares get called away, then we're right back to cash, and we can start selling puts again. If we look at the puts here, and we sell even, like, let's just say for this week, yeah, I mean, even if we were like at the 24 put, right? We would have enough to do 4 of these. We're talking about $400 a week in selling puts. So that's where we're at on MSTX. We have 415 shares as of right now. We have a call out for the 33. Theta is going to decay this away. Right now, Theta is decaying this away about 15 cents a day as of right now, or $15 a contract. So this is going to continue to eat it away. There's no way to lose here, right? If MSTX stays under 33, then I can roll this call again on Friday. If MSTX goes above 33 and ends above 33, then all my shares get called away, and I'm 100% back to cashing the account, and then we get back to selling cash secure puts, right? So those are my 2 options for this Friday. Now I just sit and I wait. If it goes up, great. If it goes down, great. Either way, I'm just going to continue making money each and every single week. I'm controlling my cash flow, and I'm consistently building my share count, right? So that's where we're at. One position, 415 shares of MSTX. That 15 came from this morning. I purchased 15 shares at $27.32. And I did that from the cash that I received from MSTU on Friday. So that's where we're sitting on the account, and we're just continuing to grind up. We're still up about 65% since when we opened the account. We have a lot of way left. Hopefully hopefully we can get a nice pump before Friday. Hopefully Bitcoin can have a nice little breakout. Maybe even push up to the $85,000, $86,000 range. Right now it's trading about $83,000, and then we get rocking and rolling. So that's the update on the account there. Proof in the pudding, of course. If you want to see all the trades we've made this entire year, here they are. Screenshot it, scroll in, whatever you need to do. But you can see we've made 2 trades, right? MSTU, we made $30 on that trade. We lost $6 on the assignment. Not worried about that because the whole goal is to get back to cash. I could have rolled it up and out, no problem. But I wanted more cash. And then we had the $25.50 we made from that odd lot we traded on MSTU last week as well. So how are we looking? Well, these are the numbers that are actually really impressive. We've made $1,957 so far this year trading. In January, we made $925. We were rocking and rolling. February, $523. And March so far, $506 plus $50.05 of capital gains. And we started the balance at $11,389 when we started March. We still have 2 weeks left in March, which means we could potentially be selling a bunch of calls still. So it's looking like we could have a nice return on our capital. When we look at this year compared to last year, right now we are beating March of 2024 by $336. So far we are beating last year's numbers by $1,612. So we are on the right path. When it comes to wheel cap gains, or I should say just cap gains on the account, we had no trades in January, no trades in February. This month we've made $50.05, like we just went over. We're at $506 worth of premium, and we're stacking up nicely. When you compare the month over month, you can see in the green, this is for 2025. We're absolutely killing what we did last year, and we're going to just continue to build upon that, right? So this month, we've already beat our goal. We've already beat what we did last year. And we're kind of getting a look into what we're looking for April, right? We need about 498. We need about $500 worth of income for next month if we're going to beat that. When it comes to the averages, how are we doing every single week? Well, the first week of March, 280. Second week of March, 202. This week so far, just the $24 from the put we sold this morning. But when we go to roll calls on Friday, if they're not going to get assigned, then we can have some nice premium. We'll probably collect about, if MSTX stays in this range between that $24 and $30 mark, then we're looking at, $100 to $200 worth of premium there. So that's where we're looking. The goal for 2025, of course, is $5,143 worth of options income. The balance that I want this account to be at by the end of the year is $18,184. So how are we looking at when we look at that? Well, we're about 67% of the way there based off the numbers I had this morning. So we have about $5,884 left in order to get to the balance. Monthly goal was $370. We're already $135 over that. So we've already smashed our monthly goal. And that's why I say focus on your cash flow. Now we own assets. They're going to move how they're going to move, but we focus on our cash flow. Options income, we have about $3,186 left. But let's remember, we're only in Q1. We still have 2 more weeks left in Q1. We've already collected $1,957 worth of options income. And if we were to extrapolate that out through the rest of the year, we're looking at about $7,800 worth of options income that we could potentially make off of this $11,000 account. So that's what we're doing. That's the power of what we're doing. And that's how we're going to continue to grow this. Now, everything could change, right, next week. But we're just going to focus on what we're focusing on, and we're just going to continue to build. We only need about $92 a week in order to hit our goals every single month. And we are absolutely smashing that. So speaking of goals, let me just zoom out here a little bit. This is what we set up, our 3% base case goal, and we're just slowly building the account. Now, we've had huge fluctuations, but to be on track in April, from the start of this, we need to be about $12,800 in the account. Obviously, we were way ahead when we were in cash, and now the account has pulled back a little bit, but that's the goal. So we're actually right on par, right? We're sitting about $12,300 in the account as of right now. Or as of the start of the video, and we need to be at 12,800 by the end of April. I think we can do that. Especially if we're collecting, $100 to $200 every single week in call premium. So that's where we're sitting in the account right now. Goal is 370 this month. We're blowing that out of the water. Next month it'll be 385. Of course, we've added a little bit of extra capital, so that does help as well. But anytime we add capital, it just gives us more shares and more ammo when we are in the range. So that is looking good. We're just going to continue to build. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. We are absolutely killing it on the goal side of things. These are the things you want to focus on, right? And you want to control what you can control. And what I can control is how much cash flow I am making from my shares. And I'm going to continue to control that. And I'm going to continue to build my share count until we get back to cash. And then we will be on the put selling game. So that's the update for this week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Hopefully you guys are grinding on your small accounts, your big accounts, whatever accounts you're trading with. You're willing in, you're willing out, you're controlling that cash flow, and you are building. Thank you, everybody. As always, this is the update for the small, or what I call is my mini account. And enjoy your guys this week. Happy investing. We'll catch you next video.